Welcome to Landria Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. I could just that's it. All right, wait, how do we do that? All right, let's talk about how we do that. All right, you know, your life is a choice. There is nothing separate from you making a decision. There are separate entities and energies that will affect you. You are still a part of that and contribute to that and what you attract. But your life is a choice. Even if something happened to you and you didn't understand it and it seemed negative, it's still your choice as to how you look at it and how you handle it. Even if you had a terminal illness. So a friend of mine, she didn't even smoke. She had lung cancer, and of course they gave her a year to live, and she made it 3 years. She was 42. Who knows why? Who knows why? But I'm going to tell you something I do know about her. She went through a lot of stress. She went through a lot of stress for years. And I think she battled that stress. I don't think she was at a peaceful place with it. Because we all have challenges. You know, why is one person over here dealing with struggles in a peaceful place, and this one over here is just absolutely so distraught every day? That's your choice. And when you go to that peaceful place, those things will change. They'll improve. The second person I know is my friend's brother was diagnosed with lung cancer. He said, okay, I'm just going to go live my life. I'm not going to go get any treatments, because if this is terminal, what's the point, right? Going through all that stuff, that's ridiculous. And he just lived life the way he wanted to. And I think it's like 10 years later, he's still fine. He's okay. Right? Choice. Everything's a choice. Nothing's ever final. Nobody tells you when you go. Nobody tells you you're worthless. Nobody tells you that you can't do something. You're in charge of that. You're in charge of your choice. And you're in charge of your happiness. And you can be that happiness. Now, what does that take? It takes a decision. So, I always say to myself, okay, if I feel sometimes I feel a little restless. And by the way, some of that does come from the collective consciousness and energy, because we're just all connected. So if you feel some stuff and you didn't get a trigger of any kind to feel bad or whatever, just don't react against it. Go, okay, I feel weird. I don't know what that is, and just do whatever. Get busy. Get your mind off of it, right? So the other thing is that, you have to take the action every day to move past all of these things that are going to get you closer to the positive choice. So now if you are focusing on all the negativity, you're choosing that. Everything is a choice. Your thoughts are a choice. You get to pick your thoughts, and you might be going, oh no, Landria, no, I don't. I do not want to think these. Then that means you have to pay attention. You're not paying attention to them, because that ego has been conditioned and told that this is the way things are, and it's in operation 24/7, because it thinks that's what you want. You've been telling it that. Everybody else has been telling it what to do and think, and how you should act, and what's acceptable, and if you are smart or not, or if you're capable or not. All that programming is walking around with you, so you do have to take a conscious effort to be in charge. It is a choice. It will take persistence. It will take 24/7 watchdog, gatekeeper kind of stuff. You're the gatekeeper. That means if this stuff is showing up, you have to stop and say, I don't like that thought, and I don't like how I feel when I think that. I am choosing abundance. I choose abundance. I choose faith. Because if all this stuff's going on, you cannot tell me that you have faith, and then you're sitting over here doubting. That's not faith. Christ had people who didn't believe leave the room when he was performing miracles. Why? Because we're energetic beings and we do affect each other. And he did not want that negative low vibration frequency in the room. It affected the results. Just like the quantum physics. It was just quantum physics in action. So he, who had a very clear path, was able to perform these miracles. And the people in the room believed it. They had to co-create, they had to participate because everything's a choice. You cannot have somebody just come heal you if that's not what you want. And sometimes it doesn't work because sometimes people have just given up, or they really don't believe, or they just, it's time to go. If that's not what you want, then you get to choose something different. What are you going to choose? So, I'm an action person because everything's about the journey. It's about you're actually having to live your life, not sit around and meditate all day. You've got to get up and actually do something. Start taking the action. Start making the changes. Shift your energy. So that means that you have to work at this and say, okay, what am I going to do today to affect that choice that I'm making? Okay, I choose abundance. Not, okay, that's it, go to work, which it is. But if it's sending you like, okay, you need to make this phone call, or you need to go to the grocery store now so you can meet that person, or what, and you're not doing it, you're not working with the universe, you're not co-creating. You're making a choice, but you're not really following it through, so you have to follow it through. What does that mean? Sit down and ask yourself. And by the way, don't say how things are going to work, just say, keep yourself open to it and say, okay, I choose, let's say financial abundance. I know it's a big one for you guys. Financial abundance. By the way, I did this month. In 2 weeks of me focusing on something, I hit a record high with my business in 2 weeks. And it's still going. Because I decided that I wanted to take everything to the next level. I focused on this and I put it out there. I don't know how it's going to happen, and it just started to happen. People came into my head. A friend of mine, a former client, absolutely brilliant inventor, NASA scientist, kept popping in my head. And she said, you know what? She said, I had a dream about you a week ago. I said, okay, we're supposed to be doing something. I'm going to explore it. That meant I had to get on that phone and call her. And she didn't call me. She had a dream about me. She didn't call me. I called her. I said, I don't know why, but you're popping in my head. So she's going to come and spend a few days here with me. I'm taking the action to see where that's going to lead me. It may not lead me to anything. But there's a reason we're supposed to connect, and I'm going to find out what it is. And I'm not going to define what that is. I'm just going to sit and explore, and whatever comes in our head or whatever we're inspired to do, I'm going to act on it. But I implement plans all the time. I say, okay, how am I going to do this? How do I reach more audiences? Well, and hopefully at some point you're watching this, the course will be out. I'm putting a course together. I want people to sign up, and I'm going to start giving them free lessons, mini lessons, to get them going. And then I'm going to offer a bigger course, a 12-week, full-blown, very detailed course. I've been working on that. It's taking a lot of time, and I want to expand. How do I help other people? How do I reach them? How do I show them what's working? I'm taking that course myself and fine-tuning it, because if it's not working for me, even though I've broken through things, I still know what feels right and what's reasonable and what is easiest to do for people to focus, because this stuff isn't always easy. Not unless you have some spontaneous awakening. This is not easy stuff to monitor that ego. It's been in charge for so long, but you still have the choice. That is not who you are. It's a conditioned energy. So I wrote a chapter in my 12-week lesson. I don't think of the ego as a bad thing. I don't. It's just an energy that's been conditioned. It doesn't think. It's not intelligent. It's just a preconditioned and ongoing conditioned energy that thinks it's protecting you because that's how you were thinking. Those were choices that you made to believe that you weren't worthy, to believe you couldn't have love, to believe that you can't make that kind of money, to believe that you're an unhealthy person. I've heard that a few times. I'm unhealthy. It's like, it's a choice. Decide you're going to be healthy and focus on that every day. So that's part of the ego has learned all this. It's an energy, and it is conditioned saying, okay, this is what you chose, so I'm going to protect you, and I'm going to continually make those things appear in your life because you've been doing it for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Why would you change now? But when you change, it's like this has been accumulating and it's so powerful now. It's going to take a while to break through that and say, no, we're switching. I'm not okay with being unhealthy. I'm not going to be thinking or focusing on anything that's unhealthy. And it will eventually stop triggering those thoughts and feelings because it realizes that you're not using it anymore. Have you ever learned a language? I remember I knew I was fluent when my brain stopped translating from English into German. I started thinking in German, dreaming in German, and speaking fluently in German because it was exhausting translating, and that's what the ego does. It will actually, at some point, it's easier to flip over to the new thinking, the new actions, the new choices, and saying, okay, this person wants this, so the ego will start to work with you and be conditioned for that, for the positive things that you're choosing. And at some point stops being the dominant speaker because it doesn't function anymore. It's not trying to protect you anymore. You're okay. You're at peace. You, the real energy, is at peace. The higher vibrating one doesn't need this lower frequency anymore to protect you. That ego's like, okay, bad person, don't talk to that person. Or, oh, I know that kind of person. They've gossiped about me before, and she's just like that. It stops doing all that stuff. It doesn't have to anymore, and then you don't need it. For very few things, the ego. But it is a protection, energy that you've conditioned. That's all it is. So it's not some powerful thing that, you can't control. It will take practice and persistence. You have to be on it and say, I don't want this thought. I'm choosing not to have this thought. Catch yourself. You've got to be on it every minute. Can you do it? Absolutely. And at some point, you're not going to even have to be the gatekeeper. It just will automatically go to the higher thought. Because you're going to be connecting to what you are, and your frequency is going to raise, so you don't even want to think at some point. If you've ever been there, that's the most awesome place where thinking isn't even necessary. Very few thoughts come in your mind unless, it's more like, oh, I have to pick the kids up at, 2 o'clock. And you don't even have to think about that. You just do it. That's how powerful you are. No thoughts are necessary. That's the brain. That's the, the calculations and analyzing and all that stuff. That's the ego. So you have choice at every moment. You get to choose. If you're not feeling good, you need to choose a higher thought. What thought can I have? Even if you're not feeling it or believing it, you have got to program yourself to think that thought. I am abundant. I am healthy. I am strong. I am powerful. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Even if you're not feeling it, you say, I am grateful because miracles are coming to me right now. Right now, miracles are coming to me. And I am so grateful for that. And get ready. And you say that 100 times a day if you have to get yourself out of that questioning mood, that doubt that's not faith. Faith is, it's already done. Done. Yeah, but, your bank account's not, I don't care. Doesn't matter what that looks like. This is already done. I'm grateful. Thank you. And then you let it transpire and you act on things as they come to you, ideas or things, coincidences. You're in charge. You get to choose. Oh. Yeah, nobody else is doing it. Awesome. That's awesome. Send your light and your love and your healing out to the universe. Send that white light around this planet. And then say your mantra. What's your mantra? I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am happy. Thank you. Thank you. I am grateful for the miracles coming to me today and every day. Sending you light, love, joy, peace, abundance, prosperity, health, wealth, and love. Namaste.